football season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
They go play action. Cousins.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Throwing is Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Lock to throw on 2nd down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall. 2nd tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the 2nd Iowa tight end taken in the draft. His teammate T.J. Hawkinson, 8th overall. He was selected by the Lions. But Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine, and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame intro.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 40-yard line.
To Hunt, 180.
Three bucks.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but now it'll be third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
To throw, Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
59, 59. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
On second down, it's Lindsey. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Recon, 152 fighter. Hey, let's go.
Locked to throw on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. He's going to field this at the 4. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
It's going to be a long day.
On second down, Cook. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
12 yards there, first down Vikings. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Cousins now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Olabisi Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
From the 24, block. And an alley to run. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. First down, here's the run with Cook. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Cousins. The throw complete to Beebe. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Push him back. Push him back.
To throw is Cousins. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Throwing, Cousins. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it's 3rd and goal. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard. And it's 4th. Bailey's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a dump-off here complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw it is Locke. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. He'll find Lindsey here. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. On first down, Locke. He's going to look deep down the field. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A first down throw for Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Von Miller, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, look at the juke. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On first down, right back to Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
15 line. 15 line. Yo.
On second and 11 now. Lock. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Gun. Wide. Hey, orbit.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Right there on the coverage to knock that ball away was Mike Hughes.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. A huge play there for Denver. 48 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. They'll run here with Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Royce Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
At the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Slam. Hey, Ken.
They run it again with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
SOS. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Cousins now, and this is Cook with a grab. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Cousins, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Cousins on the keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A big spot now for the rookie lock. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Locke. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal. But under pressure, they got him again. Von Miller in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They run. Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Oh, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you're giving up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Elsewhere, Ford Field, they're into the fourth quarter now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on second down. Block. And he's got his man on the out route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Cousins. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins to throw. And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation. Now for the point after. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some